Welcome back to the Sporting Eyes YouTube channel. Today I'll be going over my AFL fantasy team for 2024. It's my 8th season doing it now, so I have a fair bit of experience and I'm pretty excited to share with you guys what I've come up with and the strategy I'm planning to use. If you're more interested in Supercoach or you want to watch Supercoach 1 as well, that'll be coming out in a couple days, so make sure to keep a lookout for it. I haven't considered the buys at this stage, and I'm not too bothered with the opening round. I know some people are scared of picking those plays, but it is best 18, and with the trades, I think it'll be pretty easy to cover. So starting in defence with D1, I've gone with Nick Dacos. I think he'll be the best defender at the end of the year. So many ways to score. They want the ball in his hands, and he's just a jet. Hayden Young, more midfield time, the classic more midfield time. He'll be making that transition. I don't think he'll get as much of the ball as guys like Sarong and Brayshaw, but I think with his size and his tackling and then the marking around the ground, I think he can fill all the stat lines, which is important in the AFL fantasy format. D3, Kadeen Coleman, this is the most volatile spot. I can't quite figure it out at this stage, but he is kind of a placeholder in a way, priced at 70. If he can continue the form that he had displayed in the finals, it'll seem like a bargain. But if he can be between 85 and 90, I think it will justify the move. But I just can't pay up for another one of these big defenders like Sicily, Stewart or Duggan. I just don't think there's enough growth, which I want a bit more of, especially in AFL fantasy. A guy like Yo is a possibility, Trent Rivers, but because of their roles and bodies and things like that, I have Coleman for now. But it's definitely subject to change. Zach Williams, easy pick, should be 80 plus coming out of defence. Had a full pre-season, so I do like him. Daniel Curtin, Gibkiss, Pink, Zach Reed from Essendon, and then Marty Hoare as well. I think Hoare is a little more expensive. Yeah, he's 307. Those kind of four are battling for these three spots. And then I have Nick Caulfield, who I think will play. I'm not sure his scoring will be outstanding like 80 or 90 like Zach Williams, but I think he should be able to go around 70 plus-ish and make enough money. But we are paying a premium at 358k. It's not cheap for a player who is a little 50-50 at this stage. Overall, I'm happy with the setup. I don't think I'll change it much. It's just this D3 spot that is the issue. Now moving to the midfield, this is where the main bit of strategy is coming for me. I've essentially avoided all of the big guns like Bonampelli, Oliver, Green, Brayshaw, Laird. And my reasoning is there's just too much value in that 90 to 100 range to pass up on. And it's as simple as that. I can fit in a lot of those guys instead of three of these guys. For example, we'll start with Butters. I still think he's a bit underpriced. He averaged a tick below 100. Finished the year really strong. First 3 or 4 games wasn't really in the midfield rotation, so I think he's a little underpriced. Jack Steele was beat up all year, but will still be St Kilda's highest centre bounce player. So I like him a lot. Full pre-season, should be fit. The guy can go 110, tackling machine, perfect for fantasy. LDU, I started him last year and it was a great starting pick. First 2 rounds, I think were 120 plus. But then had a calf injury, missed here and there. But when he played, put up huge numbers, priced at 97. I expect him to keep improving. Tuke Miller, he is another one who I could probably swap, for example, with guys like Lockie Neal, I believe. Yeah, like Neal, Newcomb, Warner are all battling for this spot. I've gone with Tuke at this stage. Guys gone 110 before and 120 before. Should be high midfield time, but players under Damien Hardwick throughout history haven't scored great because the old Richmond teams and probably Gold Coast will play a little different than Tuke has in the previous 2 years where he is the main ball gatherer. But it's a wait and see. I've got him in for now. Sam Walsh will be a hugely popular selection for good reason, priced at just 95. Inside game, outside game, finished the year strong. He just had no pre-season and missed the start of the year with injury. So lock and load, he'll be vice-captain. Ollie Wines, Zach Butter's teammate. 50% of the time he was on the wing last year. It was really weird. He just wasn't fit. But Tyson Goldsack, one of Port Adelaide's assistant coaches, said he'll be back as a pure on-baller. Do I expect him to put up the numbers like he did in the Brownlow year? Not really. I don't think he'll go 110, but surely as a permanent midfielder, you can go 95 to 100. So I'm backing him in to do that. McKercher and Sanders will be gun rookies. Both should be playing midfield as well. I've gone with Sharp and Clark for now on the bench, but this can obviously change. I think Sharp will be very good. So that's my big strategy kind of shift in the midfield. Going relatively cheap with guys who have performed before and younger players who I think can improve. A couple other options if you're interested is like Cripps, Matt Crouch, Carl Amon if he comes out of defence will be popular. Cam Guthrie's also another one. But moving over to the rucks, I did have Tristan Xerri for Gawn at stages, and what that allows me to do if I do it is save 250 odd thousand, and that's how I can probably solve this Kadeen Coleman issue, and then maybe put another 100,000 on one of these midfielders. But I don't want to pick Tristan Xerri because he always seems to be injured. He has a weird face injury right now. So I'm just going to go with Gawn, who's still so underpriced at 92, and Brodie Grundy, self-explanatory, price at 75. This will most likely be the most popular ruck duo in every fantasy format, so lock it in. The bench is a placeholder for now. Forward line, quite a bit of variability. I've gone with Jack Macrae. It's not a great forward line mix this year. Some years it is, some years it isn't. He's out with a minor hamstring right now, but I think he'll be okay for the practice games. I'm just thinking he can bounce back. Had rib soreness is the rumour. Another option kind of in the higher price, just because we're looking at it now, is Sam Flanders, but again with that Gold Coast, the game plan, I'm just going to avoid him for now, but I'll keep an eye on him. Taylor Adams and James Jordan, we'll have a look at both of them because they're kind of similar. I think both should get pretty good midfield minutes. I think Adams, you'd expect maybe 60-70% on ball and the rest probably half forward. He'll have fire in the belly going from Collingwood, and I think he can improve a significant amount on his 77 average. James Jordan will be a bit more volatile because I think he'll play on the wing and half forward. As long as he can get some centre bounces so he can get some tackles and things like that. The mark should come on the wing because Sydney do historically use their wings quite a lot. We saw that with Gordon and McInerney and guys like that. Priced at an average of 50. I think he'll have some games where he only scores 50 because of the role, but hopefully with some games at the SCG he can maybe hit an 80 or 90 here and there and get some good cash gen going. Zach Fisher, a little more expensive than I'd like. Coming out of defence, he played pretty well there for Carlton, didn't necessarily score a whole lot in a fantasy sense, but if he can take some kickouts, and if the ball is down there a lot, with some people are predicting, North to struggle, he should, with his run and carry, rack up enough of the ball to at least average 85-ish, which is probably all you need. Finlay Macrae, simply picking him because more mid-time, even if it's 50% there and 50% wing or something at his price. He's roughly a rookie, around the same price as Harley Reid, who's next to him. Should be able to go up, and Harley Reid will play defence midfield from round one, so I'm happy to start him. Nate Caddy and Cadman on the bench, just placeholders. These guys can swap, and same as the utility. Some people are looking at a guy like Fife. Little expensive, and I've also seen Sitsas, if I can spell his name right, from Essendon as a possibility as a second-year player. But I'm pretty happy with the team. 54,000 left in the bank. I think it's balanced. I like the cheap midfield at this stage and the kind of the strange mix in the forward line. So really the only issues is this third defender spot. Can't quite figure it out. I've got Coleman there, but I'm not convinced. But maybe if I can save some money on the bench, I can get him up to a bit better of a player. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll probably do updates depending on how many people have interest in these videos, both this one and the Supercoach one. I'll probably do another one after the practice games and maybe a day or two before opening or round 1 at this stage. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon.